took me under her wing and supported me and made me feel like I could do this.
She did it in such a way where she wasn't telling you anything.
Yeah.
You almost got it subliminally, where it wasn't a lesson, or it wasn't. Now you listen, young man. It was almost by osmosis.
Yeah.
Just being around her.
Just live for.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, when I was in the courtroom, and I know she'd be sitting behind me, and I'd have a 5-page, monologue, and she'd be there, and she'd be reading, she'd be very quiet, and then at the end, when the time was right, she'd look you in the eye and go, and that's it.
First started the show, I was 20, really, whatever. And she walks up to me and stroked my face and goes, she was like kind of petting me, and she goes, listen, you're gonna get a lot of girls. And I said, wow, thanks. And then she stopped petting me and scooped my face and said, don't be stupid.
Phyllis was getting married to Danny Romalotti. I was having a hard time crying in the scene. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all. And she, come here. And she took me backstage, and this was she looked at me, she held my hand, then she let go, she went, everyone hates you! Everyone likes you! Everyone hates you! Everyone despises you! What method is that?
Like using the jewelry on Michelle's knee, and she was famous for her jewelry, and I always loved seeing that hand.
She was talking with 8 rings on it.
I know. The three of us were together, and the chemistry, and
we love those comedy scenes.
We love those comedy scenes, and then Esther protects Mrs. C.
Yeah.
Esther was the first one to call her Mrs. C, so protects her no matter what Jill does.
Jill, this has gone quite far enough. Catherine, he will get used to you. But you know what? You have to smile, because animals can sense fear in a person. I've always been afraid of dogs. Now, I told you that I was severely bitten when I was a child. Now, you knew that. Did I?
And the cat fight was in the attic, and we decided that our stunt doubles, were not doing a very good job and not making a very good show of it. So we said, we'll do it. And we did it. And this was only like 10 years ago, and every cat fight I had with her, it was like, oh, I've got to be so careful of her. And no, she was tough as nails. I mean, we went over on a sofa up in the attic, us, like just tipped over. It was pretty amazing. They were really fun.
The two of you had the most amazing scenes together. It was such a dynamic, amazing chemistry. It was thrilling. It seemed so spontaneous. It didn't seem scripted at all.
It wasn't. We just had fun. That's what she was about. Fun.
The chemistry.
With my mind. That's what she was about.
I didn't really get to have my first one-on-one scene with her, for 9 years, until we started our first and really only storyline together. And finding out that I was her grandson. I didn't know you knew my son.
I didn't. I learned because I wanted to talk to my grandson.
Welcoming me, and not only to the Chancellor family, but just to the Young and the Restless family for my first day. I'm the longest person that I've come across.
It was exactly that. She just had a special place for everyone.